Alright, so I'm going to make my pie crust. I got flour all over the place. I'm going to use my Ninja to make my pie crust. You could use your food processor or blender. You can do it by hand with a fork. You could do it by hand with a pastry cutter, whatever. I'm just going to use my Ninja. So I broke my Ninja. I dropped it and broke it. So now I got to use this to press this little button down. But it still works, so that's all that really matters. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour in here and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Alright. And here I have 11 tablespoons of cold butter. This butter was in the freezer. I diced it up and then I put it in the freezer for about an hour. It's super cold. That you want your butter cold and you want to try to handle it with your hand as little as possible. Okay? Because you want your butter to be cold. Alright, so if you have pulse on your blender, use pulse. See how it's starting to crumble up? Alright, so we're going to see what it looks like. Okay, it's almost where you want it. Let's see. Okay, it's just about where we want it. Why are you standing behind me? Okay. Little girl named Amaya was just standing up behind me like she want to fight. Girl. So I'm going to use some ice cold water. Do not just dump a bunch of water in there because you're going to have soup instead of pie dough. You want to drizzle in a little bit at a time. So you want to put in a little bit at a time. See if this really worked like it was supposed to. I wouldn't have to do all this. Come here, Maya, make yourself useful. Little girl, you better come here before I hurt you. Just hold that. Alright, keep on. People gonna hear you get kicked. Okay, so we're gonna just blend it. Go a little bit more. There it is. Alright, so as soon as it comes together, stop.
I don't think that's safe.
See? Girl. Alright, see? That's what you want. You want it to come together. Alright, so I'm going to dump it out of there and I'll be right back. Alright, so what you're going to do, you're going to dump it out on this plastic wrap. And what I do is, first you need to wash your hands. Make sure your hands are clean. You can wear gloves if you want to. I'm out of gloves. I just just bring it together. I don't like to keep touching it because, like I said, you don't want the butter to get too warm. Okay? So this is why I do it this way. Can y'all even see? Nope. I just do it in the plastic wrap so that my hands aren't warming the butter too much. Okay, so now what I do after I make all this noise in the drawer is I just take it and I divide it. This one recipe is going to give you 2 pie crusts. And I'm going to put this in here. You're going to make it into a disc. And then I just flatten it. And then you're going to put it into the refrigerator. You see that marbling, you see all that? That's butter. And that's what you want for a good pie crust. Pie crust. I use the all butter crust. Some people use half butter, half shortening. I just like the all butter crust. It's up to you what you like. You can use half butter, half shortening. You can even use the butter flavor shortening, but either way, it all needs to be very, very cold. All right, so I'm gonna place this in the refrigerator and then I'll be back. All right, so here you just wanna put your dough on a floured surface, lightly floured surface. This dough is so good that as long as it's cold, it is not gonna stick. It is a really good recipe, trust me. You're gonna go and try not to go over the edge like I just did. I wasn't supposed to. I was trying to do 3 different things at one time, talking and recording and rolling out dough at the same time, and yeah. But anyway, just roll it out. You want to turn it every time you roll over. And here you're just gonna make sure it's the right width, and then you're gonna roll it over. This dough is so forgiving, you can just do all that to it. See, it's so easy. And you got to work kind of quickly because you don't want the butter to start melting. If you feel like the dough is starting to get a little soft, pop it in the refrigerator or the freezer for a few minutes. And you just want to push it into your pan. Yeah, I use these disposable pans because I cannot find my glass ones for nothing. But anyway, you just want to make sure you push this into the pan. Do it really well. Okay. Sorry if y'all hear the kids and their daddy in the background laughing, and I don't know what they're doing downstairs. But anyway. So, what you want to do is you want to start rolling, cutting the excess dough off. Don't cut it all off. Cut about, you want to leave at least a quarter of an inch, half an inch, hanging. You want to leave that because you're going to roll it under so that you can make a decorative crust, okay? So now I'm just cutting the excess off. Alrighty, just cutting the excess off. Use a knife, some kitchen shears, whatever you got, honey. It don't matter as long as it gets cut off. Alright, so now what you're going to do is roll that little piece under. Just roll it all the way around, evenly around, under. Just roll it under a little bit, okay? And then now what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb and your index finger, hold them apart about 1/4 of an inch, and push your other index finger in between, pushing the dough to crimp your pie crust. Okay? It's very easy. It takes some getting used to because it's an awkward motion, but it's easy. All right, you're just going to go all the way around. And then once you're done with this, you're going to pop your dough into the freezer for about 30 minutes. You're going to, first, before you pop it in the freezer, you're going to take a fork and poke holes into the pie shell, to the base of the pie shell, the pie crust, to keep it from lifting when you pre-bake it. And then you're going to pop it in the freezer for about 20-30 minutes. See, this is it, fresh out of the freezer. It's ready to pre-bake on 350, or you could just pop whatever filling in there you want. All right, so talk to y'all later. Bye bye.